It all starts with you. So this shirt is not mine, or is the saying mine. It's actually that of a man. It's an incredible human being named Trent Shelton. Now, there's a lot of people know this guy, and I just recently got to meet him. But there's something that he doesn't know that I'm sure some people don't watch this video and know. But he had a great book that just came out called The Greatest You. And I think it ties heavily into what my thought is for you today. And here's the thing: there was years ago I started this whole process, and it was like maybe 2014ish. And I was like, you know what? I want to get in this space of sharing what I have heart-wise with the world. And I came across this guy named Trent Shelton. He was in this area where he had this red background. He was just preaching and sharing and talking. I was inspired by him. I was like, man, this guy's doing it. Like, he looks like me, played football like me. Like, this guy's out in the world doing it. And some people would look at him and make negative statements because, like, oh, he just yells too much, whatever it is. But my thing is, like, this dude's doing it. Like, he's out there, he's actually putting the work in and changing lives. I was like, that is admirable. I don't want to knock this person. I want to see what I can do to mimic the effort he's giving, to create my own niche in the world, to create some great impact the way he chooses to do it. Which is why I'm thinking of this video right now for him. And here's how it happened. There was years ago that I started this process, and I thought, I want to find a way to someday meet this guy. And he doesn't know this, right? Years ago, I was like, I want to meet this guy, not for anything more to shake his hand and say, man, I like what you're doing. And it was this process of me never really thinking about exactly the effort and the direction of how to do it. I had no plan. It was a backward thought of like, that'd be cool someday. But I set this path to make my own niche, my own groove in the world. And what it was this process that I go through now with my clients, and it's a see, sacrifice, sustain. It overarches the entire base of what I do in my life. And here's the process. The first thing is you have to see what direction you want to go. Because a lot of people are wandering through life and they kind of have their eyes open, but they're not really noticing what's going on. For me, I had to see two things, but you have to see these exact two things. It was you have to see, one, what's in your way. Like, what is stopping you from making progress right now? And I mean genuinely, honestly, openly saying this is what's getting in the way, because if you don't openly accept it, you can't fix anything, right? So the first thing is see what's stopping you. Second thing is see what opportunities lie for you. Like, what are out there, these things you can actually choose to do with your life? Because a lot of us have these small, tiny, encompassing mindsets that keep us tiny and don't give us the perspective to see on a grander scale. So for me, it's like, you know what? I see myself talking at a big level, sharing this heart with them at a big level, guiding people through the different identity shifts that I went through in my life. I want to take this to the world, and I want to do something grand. Had no clue exactly what it was, but I knew I had to see that first, then go after it. The second phase is sacrifice. Now, sacrifice is one thing that we always hear of. You always know what the word means, but the question is, are you really sacrificing? Now, I'm going to challenge you to think about this for a second, because there's two types of sacrifice. One type of sacrifice says, I'm going to sacrifice the things that I know need to be sacrificed. I got to make sure that I'm putting hard work and getting up early, going to bed late, spending time creating. Like, I got to sacrifice my ego sometimes. I got to sacrifice these areas that are things that are not going to aid me. So if your ego is a big part of it, or your comfort zone's there, sacrifice them to move. It's the first one, which is a positive one. The second one is one we don't think about, that in fact can be detrimental to the entire process. The second one is sacrificing things that matter most. I sacrificed my relationship. I sacrificed my health. I sacrificed being a good parent for a long period of time. And in doing so, I lost my happy, I lost my joy, I lost my anchor. And that's one thing that I question about a lot of people is, are you doing this for the right reasons? Are you pushing towards that goal because it matters to the people that matter most to you? And if it doesn't matter to those people, then why do it? Why take that time from the loved ones you say you're working for if you're not trying to get closer to them? So the other part of sacrifice is sacrifice the good things, but don't sacrifice the bad things. Don't sacrifice the things that matter, the people that matter, because they're there for you when you struggle. And if you sacrifice by staying over here and neglecting them, you lose them, which will lose the drive to work on the thing you want to work on. The third part of it's sustain. When I talk about sustain, it's not just sustain and keep hustling, but it's like, do you have the sustained energy and passion for what you're doing? Some people sustain in the wrong place, and they actually sustain a negative direction. So what they do is do this thing that they really are just pushing towards for no apparent reason. It's kind of like climbing a ladder, leaned against a building, to find the ladder's leaned against the wrong building. And so sustainability is one, looking at, does this thing sustain the passion, does it sustain the heart, does it sustain the drive I want to have for my life, and is this the direction I want to go? Am I climbing a ladder against the right building? The other part is am I sustaining this work ethic towards this place? Because sometimes we hit a false summit in life. The false summit says that I worked myself in this direction, I grinded, I sustained my work ethic, and then I got to a peak and I thought, you know, this is cool. I didn't realize that once you get to a new peak, you get to see all the other peaks you can go towards. And if you stop for any moment in life, the world keeps on moving. So stopping moving, stopping sustained energy, in fact, makes the world go ahead of you. Take 2 steps back because the world doesn't stop moving. So are you sustaining the effort that got you to this peak so you can continue to keep going to the next peaks? And it doesn't mean, again, sacrificing other parts of your life. It means, are you sustaining the work towards the next peak of your life to find that there's true joy past the joy you have right now? Now, when I did that, when you do that, the unique thing was the effort I put forth to see the area I could go, to sacrifice the way I needed to sustain my energy. It put me in a place where I was around some incredible minds. One being a man named Trent Shelton. Right, it put you in a place you get to now call this person my friend. And I get to see what work he does in the world and in fact support his work at a level of being equal in some aspects, right? I can see what I can do to help him and vice versa. What's cool is it all came from one mindset, which was, how do I go the path of simply grinding and working, putting the work in nobody else will to get to that different peak, the different tier. Because when you do that, when you actually create that space, the world's amazing. But like Trent will always tell you, and like I'm gonna tell you right now, is it all starts with you. Thank you for watching. My name is Anthony Trucks, former NFL athlete, American Ninja Warrior, speaker, author, and founder of Identity Shift, where we help you make your next shift your best shift. And if you enjoyed this video, then I invite you to click the link below.